I did. I hit the button. I did. I did. Aloha, everyone, and welcome to another edition of 22 and You. I am Neil Molokai Mystic with my sidekick.
Nick with my angels.
And today's show is all about expanding. We've been doing this since the beginning of 2022, but it falls on the 22nd. And the reason why we're doing that is because both my birthday and Nick's birthday fall on the 22nd as well. So we've been doing this. We're considering doing it through 2023 as well, and just keeping the name 22 and You because we hold it on the 22nd. There's a thought. So we are putting that out in the universe, and we'll decide next year if we're going to continue this show. And today's show, as you guys know, well, some of you for our first time viewers don't know, but our topics come from our followers. They send us topics, and we address them here on the show. So hello, 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 everybody. Woo-hoo. Um, and today's topic is about how do we know if our connections are heavenly or earthly? When we're getting messages, are they from someone that is still living? Or are they someone who has transitioned? Are they our angels? Are they our guides? Are they the divine itself? You know, um, in regards to how do we know whether or not it's heavenly or earthly? Well, heaven and earth are both divine, so all communication is divine communication, especially when you're using all of your senses. Um, so this question came in specifically because this individual was receiving messages from herself. Well, not from herself, but she was receiving messages with her own intuition and her own gifts, as well as these messages were coming from other readers to her. And um, what she found interesting is that the messages that were coming through seemed to be coming through from someone from her past that she doesn't have connection with right now. So the first thought was, well, maybe this person has transitioned. Time has gone by, and then she found out, no, this person wasn't transitioned. So she was in this conundrum of how was it that this energy was bringing forth messages to me and they're still alive? Is that possible? The answer is yes. There's a multitude of ways that different energies can communicate with us. Now, the question is, how do we know? How do we know, one, like in that particular situation, is this energy coming through with messages because they are transitioned? You know, how do we know if this is telepathic communication with someone who is living? How do we know if this is my angels sending me divine messages? How do I know if I'm being a medium for other people's loved ones to come through? There's a difference between receiving a message from your own heart connection with people on the other side and receiving messages from those that I just saw Nick's comment. Nikki commented in the comment section and threw me off because I'm like, wait, Nikki's with me. Um, but there's a difference between being able to receive your own divine messages from those that have transitioned, that you have a personal heart space connection with, and then being a channel uh, for mediumship for other people. Because everyone, I don't care how intuitive you think you are, if you have a heart connection, you can connect. You are your best medium for those that you have a heart connection with. Although it's great to get validation from other people, tune into your own heart space. It's a much more personal experience. Um, so going back to how to answer this question, how do we know if the energy is someone living, if the energy is someone transitioned, or is it sources from even higher energies? Um, and I would always say, know your own energy first.
Yeah. Um, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Janil, but can I ask a question in this regard before you elaborate more? When you
Yes,
say you have a heart connection, um, for me, having a heart connection is having a connection at all with the person. Like, even if the connection, like you can have loved someone when you I love someone, love never dies. Even if
hmm
I got problems with the person and we are no longer in touch.
yeah,
So do you agree with that? Can you elaborate in that, like having a heart connection even if now you are in disagreement and not talking, the heart connection is still there, correct?
absolutely. Once you love, you cannot unlove. You can not feel comfortable with or even resonate with uh, how they're conducting themselves, the choices that they're making, so on and so forth. But just because you don't resonate any longer with this person's energy and how they're living their lives, and you know that it's in your best interest to step aside from that, it does not. Once you love, you cannot unlove. You can hate a situation, and hate is a very strong word, and it's not one that I normally use. But in general terms, you can dislike how they're conducting themselves and you choose to step out of this energy. You know, High Priestess, are you doing readings? If so, can I be added to the list? Sweetie, I love to give you readings. I love your name. And we're doing that on Tuesdays. Tuesdays. So at Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Nick. You're just all in the comments and you're tripping me out about that. Okay, my tech guru over here. Um, Janelle Hugh, Molokai Mystic. What's that? What is what my Oh, the 22 and You is in regards to the post that was just put up. 22 and You is a show that we are doing right now. Currently, the show is in regards to answering the questions that come through from the audience that help us all grow and expand and have deeper understandings in our spiritual growth. And then on Tuesdays, we have our Silly Rainbow Show at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Silly Rainbow Show is we do pendulum questions and card readings on this show. And again, that's on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Sundays, we have our ABC show, which is all about the ABCs of Oracle card readings. Now, this, you do get a reading, but you give it yourself. So, this is an experiential show on Sundays. So, you learn and receive guidance on all of our shows. This particular one, we focus on one particular topic, maybe two. Sometimes we have a guest, and we address it more in detail. My husband was the love of my life. Oh, I love that. And see, you have a heart connection, Allison, with your husband. Regardless if, you know, he's transitioned, love never dies. Regardless if someone is completely dismissed from your life, that heart connection, the love aspect, you cannot unlove. You unlock the key to love that you cannot unlove. Again, you can dislike the situation, their conduct, their words, but there's always that connection. You don't get me wrong though, you can cut your ties in regards to the energetic hold that someone has on you from a past experience though. Okay. You can cut those ties so that those ties now are your tools opposed to your anchor. You know, you're not anchored into the situation from the past that may have hurt someone. You can cut that tie, but the love, the essence of love, is always and will always exist. Yes, He is loving me from where He is. Amen. Amen. Um, yes. All right. So, did that answer your question,
Yes,
Nick?
thank you. Thank you.
Um, so again, it's the first step. The first step to understanding who you're communicating with and where are they? Where are they in all these different realms? The first step is always going to be to know you, to know your own energy. And how do we do that? How do we, what does that mean to know our own energy? You know, there are lots of different steps to knowing your own energy, but I cannot tell you what your energy is. This is something you need to experience for yourself because everybody's energy is very unique to themselves. But to know your own energy first allows you to know when other energies are tapping in and at what elevation, what vibration, what frequency are they coming in? Because we all have a frequency in our vibration. And us humans, we have a very dense vibration in energy simply because we're in a human body and we need to be anchored with gravity to the earth. So our density, it doesn't mean we are better or worse or bad or whatever in density levels. What I'm saying is your energy is lower than the other realms because, you know, we're having a human experience. And then the vibrational scale moves up from there. So I'm here, my past loved ones are here, and then we have our guides, and then we have our ascended masters and our angelic realm and the divine realm, and it goes higher and higher and higher and higher. If I got that order correctly. But the basics is our human source, our human being physical body gives us a density. So this density is your own. My vibration is changing from grief and caregiving to self love, self dialogue, and living in the moment. That's beautiful, Allison. Self love ripples out. And the grieving period, it's a journey. And when we, there's just something I just want to touch on with this question or this statement rather, is that caregiving to self is so very important. But what I want you to remember and take into consideration that in that spiral of that sacred journey of grief, remind yourself that when it hits, when that grief pops up, remember that it's sacred and honor it and allow yourself to feel it and not beat yourself up because it comes around. It comes around and it reminds you that love is eternal. And the depth of our pain is the depth of our love. I sit with it. I'm so proud of you. You know, ease and grace for your journey. So, how can you learn what your frequency is for yourself? Because, like I said, you have to be able to know you, your personal energy, before you can really learn to identify what these other energies and where they're coming from is. Um, I think uh, the most familiar energy is going to be um, dependent on how you receive. Like I'm a feeler, so I'm going to feel what my energy feels like. I'm going to feel uh, what my truth is. Some people are knowers. Some people are just going to be able to sit in the energy of I know I am content. I know that I'm at peace. It's a knowing, you know. So it depends on how you receive, is how you learn to start identifying what your energy is. If none of you guys have ever experienced your own energy, put your hands together and then just rub them a little bit. Just get that energy flowing. And as you are rubbing your hands, imagine all of your true essence going into your hands. Just rub it together, pat it, and then bring it apart. And you'll feel this vibration or heat or see, depending again how you receive your messages. So getting to know what your energy feels like. Mine gets a little big, so and you can feel it bouncing off of your hands. I know Nikki can't really do it
I
because she
can't
has
do
an
it.
injured hand, but you can feel that energy.
Mhm.
Get to know it. You do this on a regular basis, especially like when your emotions have changed. Try it when you think about something that really pisses you off. Woo, that energy expands, let me tell you. Try it when you are in a very calm space, taking a bubble bath. You got your candles going, and everything is everything. You're relaxed and calm. Check out your energy. What do you feel like? What is it like? Is it big? Is it like bouncing really hard? Is it just nice and calm and serene? What is your energy like? Another way you can learn what your energy is like, especially if you're a knower, you know, or you pick up on not necessarily the feeling of something, but you feel the emotion, not necessarily the pain symptoms. Like I'm a like full on filler, so I'll get it all. But if you were to dissect it and say, okay, I'm detecting this feeling of an emotion, a sadness, a joy, a contentment, a frustration. Okay, so as you sit in your own space, just for a moment, just the calm of being in your own space, you begin to say, show me my truth. What is it? And then as you become aware of how it is you're receiving this, is it an emotion? Is it a knowing? Is it a feeling? And you identify it. Mine tends to be a very a higher vibration of serenity and joy mixture. Okay, so I'm kind of a high viber. Um, Other people can be very calm and serene. Um, Other people can just be naturally antsy, antsy, and constantly like you have this controlling energy where you want to make sure everything is taken care of all the time. So you're like a researcher. You're a need to know. You have this inner hunger about you. You know. So there's no right or wrong energy. It's just unique and special to you. But knowing it is very important. Because if you don't know your own energy, how are you going to know when someone else's is knocking at your door? You know, um, a good way after you've centered yourself and you've gotten to know, okay, this is what I'm feeling is me. Then what I'd like you to do is to practice going into another room. Once you cross a threshold, once you step out of that space into the hallway, have you changed? Has your energy changed? Are the pictures hanging on the wall affecting you somehow? Is the noise coming from down the hall? You haven't even gotten into another room yet. You're just stepped out of your doorway into your hallway. There's a shift because everything is energy. And learning to realize when something is tapping on your energy is so important. So, how does your energy shift when you walk out of that doorway into the hallway? Is the lighting, the ambiance, are the pictures on the wall triggering you somehow? Is that particular picture bring back a memory for you? You know, What is your energy doing in reaction to that change of environment? You realize that, you catalog it. This is how I feel when I'm exposed to this. It's all about taking note of you. Go into another room. Say you go into the bathroom. The light is bright. The faucet is shiny. The water is loud. Or is the water relaxing to you? How are you? How is your energy responding to that shift? Now you haven't even gotten around people yet. Okay. Once you leave that, now you've already cataloged. Okay, this is how I feel in the hallway. The light was a little dimmer. It was a little more of a journey. I feel like I'm going somewhere, you know. You go into the bathroom, it's bright, it's shiny, can have noise in there, toilet flushes, I mean, there are sounds and stimulations that we experience every day. But are we taking note of how it is affecting us? Then when you go into another room and there's somebody there, now you have to catalog, how is the lighting? How is the atmosphere? How are the pictures in it affecting me? How is this person's energy affecting me? Is this person in a good mood? Is this person hungry? You can pick that up if somebody is hungry and they have this anticipation of nurturing themselves. It's you can pick up all of these different energies, and then you tune into you. How am I receiving this, and how is it shifting how I felt in that first room that I was in? What just happened to me? You went down the hallway, into the bathroom, into the living room, and now you're exposed to somebody else's energy. So, to answer the question of who and where these messages are coming through to us, you will get so confused when you have energy all around you and you don't know your own energy. So, understanding you first, your energy, and what affects it and how will help you learn to decipher the messages that are coming through and what realm they're coming through from. Okay, so the process of learning your own energy is a very personal and individual journey because it's a step by step, and it's really, really important to stay present in each one of those steps. Okay, so knowing you first will help you get to know what's coming through to you. So once you've done that, Nikki, any questions on that? Are you
You no, you said it all. That's great. Like I'm like wow. I'm learning. I'm learning.
okay? So once you've gotten that practice down, and this is not a one-day thing. This is a continual journey because you evolve regularly. You're constantly evolving. So what may have affected you in one way one day may not affect you the same way a year from now. you know. So keep that catalog. Okay. Anyway, once you've gotten your own energy down, then it's all about practice, 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 practice. Being present. Practice with someone that you trust. Start doing telepathy, you know, sending them messages. I got a really bad habit whenever I want spaghetti or coleslaw. My husband is very intuitive. He doesn't own it. Okay. But I do. So what I do is I just, happen to, in my mind's eye, have this conversation and say, I really would like to eat some coleslaw right now. And then next thing I know, and I'm kind of, focusing it in towards my husband because he's the cook in the family. So I focused that in, and I'm just like, sweetie, I would really love some coleslaw tonight. And guess what I get with my dinner? I'll get some coleslaw. And I laugh and I let him know. Yeah, you got my message. At first I felt guilty about it, but it made him so happy to be able to give me something that I enjoyed. So it was a double blessing. But I did clue him in before. So you don't really want to go around just putting thoughts into people's mind. I'm just putting a suggestion. Sweetie, I'd love some coleslaw tonight. So practice that communication, but do let them know out of respect. Let them know that this is what I sent you, and I'm so glad that you got the message. Or call a friend and say, I'd like to practice this. They're far away. It doesn't matter the distance. Okay, there is no time or distance. That's an illusion. So practice. Call a friend and say, I'm going to be practicing some telepathy. If you happen to pick up anything, I'm sending you messages, let me know. And once you figure out that, yes, I can send these messages to them, because it's our innate ability of communication, guys, if you don't realize this. Telepathy is divine communication. It is our first and innate language. When I was on the other side with my near death experience, there was no mouth moving. Everything, and it's so much better because you don't get misunderstood. You can say the whole clear story and they get it all in one bite. you know there isn't this struggle with words. There isn't this barrier of different languages. It's your heart space sends this message on the other side. Here we use our brain, so it's like, this is why it's that telepathy. um, but on the other side, it's all about speaking from the heart, and there are no verbal words necessary, although the angels do sing, so that's pretty cool. but um, but I've never seen their mouths move, so maybe it's just I'm hearing it in a divine way. um, um, So practice, practice, practice. What does that energy feel when you are sending someone a message? And then you ask them to do the same thing. Ask them, send me a message, and I'll let you know what I get. And when you are receiving this message, when you get that aha, something's coming through, or you happen to be having a conversation and you say something you don't normally say, and you think, where did that come from? Check with your friend. Was that message sent as a telepathic message in your training? Practice, 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 guys. Okay, do it with permission. And um, then you realize, once you validate that, yes, this was their message, think, how did it feel? What energy level was it at? It shouldn't be much higher than your normal energy. Okay, because you both are alive in human bodies, so your density of your vibration is at a human density. So check out what kind of energy that felt like when you received that message. Nick, are you following me?
Oh
Or
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm good.
I don't want to lose anybody on this. There is so much on this topic, and we're already 40 minutes in. But to really understand it, the only way you can really understand something is to experience it. You know, so this is a human to human communication without words. Okay, so this is your telepathy aspect. Now you want to go into, what does it feel like, or how do I know if I'm receiving a message from someone who's still alive, but it's not a telepathic message? You're in the car and you hear a song that reminds you of someone, or you just start thinking about someone. There's no real message behind it, but their name keeps coming to you for some reason, or you just start reminiscing. Okay, is this a direct message, or is it because you have a heart connection with this particular person and they happen to be thinking about you? Or all of a sudden, in a couple of days, they call you, you know, It's because your energy is familiar with that other person. And at a higher realm, you guys are playing on the same energetic realm, that same field. It's crossing each other's paths. And because you are connected to this person, you pick up on it. Mothers always know. There's this mother's intuition. This is another innate ability, divine communication. I know when my son is having a hard time. I'm in Hawaii, he's in Florida. But this is not something that just because I'm Molokai mystic that I can do. This is everybody can do this. You know, as a mother, you sense things. Okay, this is divine communication, not telepathy, but that higher self, you energetically connecting on the same realm with someone energetically that you have a heart connection with. Something is going on in their life and you feel it. You know it. They're thinking about you, they're celebrating, they're sick, they're frustrated. Because you have that familiar connection energetically, you can pick up on it. Okay. Doesn't necessarily mean that there is a very specific message coming through. It could just mean that just, I miss so and so. Next thing you know, you guys are talking on the phone, you know? So in this energetic realm, it's a little bit higher than the telepathy. So you'll feel that. How does it feel when all of a sudden you're thinking about someone you haven't thought about for a while? How does it feel when you are listening to a song that popped on the radio and it just brings you right back to a memory that you had in childhood, this childhood friend you haven't talked to in forever, you know? This is you guys dancing at the same energetic field, and it's a little bit higher than telepathy. So take note of that. How am I receiving it? Am I knowing it? Am I feeling it? Where is my energy? So going back to what your energy is and how that energy is now affecting your energy. So again, you got to take notes of that original session of getting to know your own energy. Um, yes, you always know, spot on, always spot on with your kids. This is an innate ability. Okay, divine communication is just that. It's divine and it's granted to everybody. You just got to learn the language. That's all there is to it. You know. So now we go into those that have transitioned. Okay, so now you're talking about a higher vibration. Is it someone that you know or is it a stranger? Are you having a heart communication, a heart connection with someone that is in your own life, or are you tapping in to someone else's loved one, which would put you in the mediumship realm? Okay. In that mediumship realm, you are the medium, you are the channel, the open channel to receive messages from other people's loved ones so that you can give them the message. Are you meant to do it every time? No, no. Just because someone comes knocking on your door, okay, someone from the other side comes knocking on your door, does that mean you are meant to give that other person a message? You got to check in with yourself. Or are you just at a higher vibration? Are you spiritually raising your vibration and you've got traffic coming in? And these guys, they see it. They know you're up there playing, So they're like, this person can see me. This person can feel me. This person can know me. This person is my access to my loved one down there who has yet to understand our language, you know. I can't feel my husband is because I'm expecting something different. Sometimes that's exactly right. When you put demands and you put expectations on something, you might be missing what they're already sending you. You know, if you are a filler, but your heart is yearning to see them again, you might be missing the feelings that he's sending you because you're so attached to wanting to see him this way. You know, how the easiest route for a spirit to come through is going to be your strongest gift that you have expanded and worked on yourself. So that's their door. That's their key to getting through to you. And then as you build that communication with them, then it expands. And what you started off maybe as just feeling in your heart can start becoming a tingling on your skin, can start becoming dream states, start becoming waking visions, can start becoming hearing their voice. So start with what your strongest gift is, and then ask them to make you aware of them in a way that you know it is them. And then check yourself. How did that change my energy? How did that loved one knock on my door? Did they ring the bell? Did they open it right up and just give me a hug? Did they knock softly? How is it affecting your energy? And then you understand that this is how they come through. And from that point on, you can expand that communication with them. Um, and then you realize, say, if you're a medium and you're channeling loved ones for other people, and they're not just on your same highway passing through saying hi, but it is a situation where you're meant to give a message to somebody else. They are sitting in front of you, they are hoping for their loved ones to come through. Guys, I know we all have been in that situation where we have wanted someone to say, yes, your loved one, this particular person is here present now. Just like you, those on the other side have a choice, and it is respected. I don't force anybody to come through. Okay. So they have a choice to come through. And I will tell you, sorry, I'm not getting nothing. I'm not getting anybody. They, you know, when they are ready, they come through for your highest and greatest good. Not just because we here on earth want something. So they have a choice, and I honor their choice. Um, but when you are in the position of channeling a loved one for someone else, okay, what does that feel like? Is this really their loved one coming through, or is this an angel guide coming through to deliver a message from that loved one? That's a possibility too. What's the frequency? Is it a higher frequency, or is it the transition frequency? What is the vibration? What does it feel like? What direction are they coming from? For me, this is my own personal experience, guys, because like I said, how you receive your message is going to be very unique to you. For me, it tends to be, if it's a male energy, it's going to come from this side of me. If it's a female energy, it comes from this side of me. If it's a child of the person I'm reading for, they tend to come in at a lower energy and come in this way, even if they're a grown adult. Even if it's a grown 50-year adult and I have their mother in front of me asking for a reading, when they come through as a child this way. They come inward and a little bit lower. But this is just my own personal experiences. Um, and they tend to be more, for transitioned people, mind you, they tend to be more at a human height. Okay. Uh, Sometimes, though, there are occasions where they just play out this whole scene over here, but these are usually like messages directly for me. So where they're coming through and they're dancing and stuff in front of me.
or dancing on
Um,
your bed.
Dancing on my bed. Thank you, Pat. Pat likes to dance on my bed. Um, and be right in front of me. Some like to stand at a distance, but this is loved ones coming directly from me. When I'm receiving a message, the energy appears first for me. Sometimes I'll see something, and usually, if I am seeing something, whether it is uh, male or female, it's usually off to this side. If it's a message for me, it's usually directly in front of me. Um, so, knowing how they come through for you. Is it a message for someone else? Is it a message for me? My angels do the same thing. They come in differently. If it's a message for me, they come in one way. Well, they come in multiple ways. Jeez Louise. Um, if it's a message for someone else, they usually appear like angels, and it's like that's pretty cool. Why don't you do that for me? You know, it's like I want to see the wings, for me. But uh, if an angel is appearing to deliver a message for someone I'm reading, they usually stand off to my left side. Um, For me, it's more direct. It's either on top of me, in front of me. After this, it's just like angel energy, big energy, high vibration energy. So it's totally different than the energy of a loved one or a transitioned um, person that I'm reading for somebody, delivering a message for. So the bottom line here, guys, is knowing your own energy, knowing how stimuli in your environment or even your thoughts can affect and change and shift that energy. Understanding there is a maintenance of your energy. Once you realize that, okay, walking out into that living room with that hungry person and those loud pictures on the wall and that loud music, it's a little overwhelming. Okay, don't forget to maintain your energy. Now you are aware that it affects and it bombards and it just like in your face kind of energy. That's not really good for channeling. It can be a little disruptive. So maintaining your energy and calling in your spirit team. You don't have to do it alone. You call in your divine team. I work with Michael every single day. Help me stand in my truth. Maintain my energy. No lower energies and or entities seen and or unseen can enter this space. I've got work to do. Okay. And anything other than love and light is just a distraction for me. So I can't play that. So learn ways to maintain your own energy, especially once you've learned it. What is your energy? What is your best receptive energetic state? And then you can learn, okay, who's coming through and where are they from? Okay, you can do it. We're all capable of doing it. You just got to learn the language. How are they speaking to you? Um, so let's see. Uh, Guides and ascended masters, they're fun. Okay, they come in with personality. Um, my main spirit guide is Jesus, who you guys know I call Dude. Um, and he has a sense of humor. Oh, a lot of them have a sense of humor. Some of them can be kind of strict with me, but in a very, very loving and supportive way. It's just they they want you to be able to choose with confidence who you're going to deal with and how you're going to allow it to affect your energy. And it really is a choice. If you are receiving, like I receive a lot of really, really high pitch tones, and I know that this is a seraphim realm. This is a really high frequency realm coming in, but it hurts, you know. And so I'm like tapping my ears sometimes. You guys ever see me tap my ears? Because I've got some high pitches coming through, and I'm like, okay, I hear you. You can calm down now, So you can control how the the intensity of things. But a lot of times, because I am in my natural state. My natural state is it's a serenity with this punch of joy to it. That's my natural state. So because I have that punch of joy, my guides know that when you're going to come through, you got to come through a little high because my natural state is already high. So they got to come in a little high for me. Whereas someone who's very calm, they might be more receptive in a calm, gentle entrance. So knowing you first is so, so valuable in being able to understand who else is coming through. Um, Nick, anything?
No.
So And I mean, and I'm just briefly giving you guys an overview of the different ways. I mean, and it's really something very, very, very personal to each
It,
individual.
it's very important, Neil. I mean, you are going into some details, but I'm sure there is a lot more to it. Like I'm listening to you and I'm thinking like this must be a full class too,
Exactly. You
because
know,
this is
we have this
amazing.
we have just this 1 hour slot for this show, and there's like 5 minutes left to it. But I've
Wow,
barely scratched the surface on
exactly.
how
We're still at the level of the loved ones. We didn't touch the rest, and like,
you know, but the question really stemmed from, if you're receiving any messages and you know it's from someone that you love that you're estranged from, how do you know if they are living or transitioned and you don't have contact with them?
yeah,
This was the heart of the question that someone brought forth. And again, you won't if you don't know you, you know, because they're all divine messages, you know. But if you know your energy, then you can feel and understand the different other frequency energies. So telepathy is going to be more to human energetic, divine communication in regards to higher selves dancing at the same energetic realm. Why? Because you have a heart space connection. You guys can connect in this. You guys can think about each other, and the other person is knowing that they are missing or reminiscing, even if they are not on the phone. You know. So this would be the realm, that second step up, where you are saying, my soul feels that my child is in need. My soul feels that my old childhood friend is reminiscing, and we're probably thinking about the same memory at the exact same time. Or this song reminds me of a beautiful evening that I had with my ex husband. But you guys are both thinking about it at the same time. Remember, love, you can't diminish love. Once you love someone, it's there forever, guys. So pay attention to who you fall in love with. The love never dies. Okay. You can excuse yourself from that energy because it no longer resonates with you and your higher purpose and alignment with your truth. Just because you love someone doesn't mean you have to be under the same roof with them. I'll just say that. But love, once you love, you cannot unlove. Okay. You can disagree with what their truth is compared to what your truth is, but it's still their truth. It's still your truth. You guys choose to go on separate paths, but the love is there eternally. Okay. And you always have that connection. So sometimes you guys might meet on that higher realm of energy, just as a reminder that love is always there. There is that connection.
the reason why I think on a higher vibration we can meet, even if on as a human we have disagreement. I mean, sometimes we can consider. I mean, this is my own experience. I don't know if you agree, but some people can be mean to us on this in this life, and we disagree with them. We argue. We It's because they are teaching us a lesson. It's their
Exactly.
role in our life to
Hmm.
be this person. But on a
Exactly.
higher vibration, we can thank them because
Exactly.
they they are accomplishing the role perfectly for us to upgrade, to
Yeah.
learn the lesson. So this
See,
is why the love never dies. It's because on a higher level we know we see the
think
bigger
about it.
picture.
Think about it on a soul level. Say you guys, this is before you're born, and you are having this conversation with someone else that is going to be walking the earth at the same time that you're going to be walking the earth, and they've agreed to teach you these hard lessons, not because they want to be mean and ruthless, but because they love you enough to help you learn these lessons, and they are willing to sacrifice being persecuted by you, being told you don't love me. If you loved me, you wouldn't treat me this way. Unbeknownst to you, they love you so much on the other side that they agreed to come down here and treat you like crap, you know? So when we connect with them on that higher realm, we can say thank you. We can dance in that energy with joy, love, ease, and grace. And we're not bound to these earthly physical emotions and frustrations about the hard earth human lessons that they've been teaching us, you know. So um, even the people that have been doing what society considers the most horrendous acts, remember they serve a purpose as well, and it's a divine purpose. And just because we don't understand it doesn't mean that at a soul level we're like, yes, thank you, that was a freaking good one, even though it hurt like hell, you know. I mean, but I learned that lesson thoroughly and clearly, because even if that lesson was I deserve better, even if that lesson is that's not what I want in my life, you know, even if that lesson is saying I need to leave this so that I can protect my young. You know, it's what you agreed to before you even got here. And this is why, if you can get into that energetic understanding from that heart space, from that higher realm, you're able to cut the ties, like we were talking about earlier, to cut the ties of the trauma and trust the love that remains. You know? So everything has a divine purpose, especially divine communication. And divine communication is it's all about allowing yourself to, one, know your own energy, and two, learn the language. Practice, practice, practice. And don't forget to maintain your own energy. Maintain it so that you don't get all of that external interference, you know, the unnecessary interference. And how do you know what's unnecessary? Learn how your body reacts. Learn how your energy responds to external stimuli. Start in your room, play with your energy, figure out what your true and divine energetic state is for your best receptivity, and then go into another room. How does it feel? What's happening? Acknowledge it, file it, understand it. Go into another room, do the same thing. Another stimuli, do the same thing. Get to know yourself. You get to know yourself, the better you are able to maintain yourself, and the better you are able to understand other energies coming
Yeah. Love you too, Alison.
in. So, um, you know, this is such a deep subject, and each level of communication comes with its own experiences and its own gifts and its own expansion. And sometimes you might feel like you're going to implode because the energies coming at you is such a high vibration. But the one thing about receiving these divine messages, especially if you're going to share these divine messages with others, is Integrity, integrity, authenticity, respect for yourself, respect for those on the other side, and respect for those that you're delivering the message to. And that, my friends, is another show.
And don't forget to join us tomorrow for Silly Rainbow ABC.
ABC.
Yes,
Allow, believe, and channel your own divine message. All right, guys, we love you. And as we always say, go ahead, Nick,
we shine brighter together.
together. All right, you guys, it is aloha from me.
And bye bye from me.